a 3-minute bio. Those of you who are looking forward to hearing from Tommy Ballard will have to wait. And so today, we're celebrating our, we'll call this our Family of Rotary Day. And I think it's very appropriate. This was not my idea. But I think it fits in there absolutely with some families in particular that we're going to celebrate as a family of one Rotary Club. And so I'm going to get out of the way and I'm going to let Phil present what he has to deliver from Stan that got passed through Wayne to you, I guess. But I appreciate you gentlemen being willing to do this. We have some pictures at some point that I can show, but I'm going to let you go on and get going.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll get it.
Kind of like to start the quarterback's hurt. Second string gets hurt. Third string gets hurt, and then the guy been playing on the practice team for the rest of the year. They won. Who said that? Three generations of Rotary. That's what we're talking about today. 3 generations of Rotary. You know, it's good that we celebrate each day, as we've already mentioned. Each day is special in its own way. Sometimes it helps to take a longer view when we really want to understand the significance of a particular event and the impact of life. We recently celebrated 100 years of Rotary in Thomasville, 100 years during which hundreds of members of this club made a difference for our community. There's no one individual among us who has lived to be a part of the entire century. Doesn't have to come close. But during the past decade, we've honored Rotarians who have served our club for over half of that century, 50 plus years. Before we want to celebrate 3 families whose Rotary service has spanned these generations, whose commitment to service above self has been passed down from grandfather to father to son or daughter, if you will. And in one case, we can throw an uncle in there for good measure. In the case of each family, it is clear that the love of family, love of Rotary, and love of community were driving forces and lifelong commitments. And we are all the richer for it. For example, everybody in the Thomasville area is familiar with J.C. Green and Sons Funeral Home. Started in 1895 as J.C. Green Furniture and Undertaking Company, and it's thought to be the oldest family-owned business in Davidson County. Robert Green Sr. was the youngest of 10 children of J.C. Green, and he and his brother Chick succeeded their dad in running the business, which in 1932 was relocated to the family residence on West Main Street. Robert Sr. was a proud and very active Rotarian, and he might have come by honestly as his older brother Julius was a Rotarian before him. As a matter of fact, Julius's family nickname was Mr. Rotary. He was a world traveler, and each time he went to a foreign country, he attended a Rotary meeting and always brought back a flag from that country's Rotary Club. In the old days, Rotary would only allow one person in each profession to join the club. I can remember that. By 1985, Robert Jr., our Robert, was an up-and-coming young professional who had joined his family business. His dad, Robert Sr., went on inactive status so that Robert Jr. could begin his Rotary career, which he has done faithfully for 37 years. During 3 years, Robert has been during those years, Robert has been a leader in the community, serving as school board chair, president of the Chamber of Commerce, among many other civic leadership duties. He has 5 children and is married to his wife, Karen. One of those children, Mark, has followed in his grandfather and father's footsteps and has become the 3rd generation Rotarian, beginning in 2017. And is active in the community as well through his involvement in the Chamber, United Way. He's married to his wife, Megan. They are the newest parents in our Rotary Club, as their son, Clark Andrew Green, was born on November the 2nd of this year. Generation number 4 has arrived. Robert recently said that he was extremely happy to live in Thomasville, to be part of the community, and if he had to do it all over again, wouldn't change a thing. 3 generations of Greens are shining examples of service above self. Thank you, family Greens.
Live in this town, work in this town, and raise a family in this town. And everybody in Rotary has been a big part of that. Just, again, couldn't be happier with the way things have turned out for our family in Thomasville. Thank you all so much.
Neither do we, Rob. Thank y'all very much. I got no here today. I can't read it, but I'm glad you look good.
That's not what I'm saying. I did not just dismiss Stan. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay. Like the Green, the Kennedy family has a long history of community leadership and Rotary membership. The patriarch of the family, Stuart Kennedy, was born in 1925 and lived for 95 full years in our community and was a member of Thomasville Rotary for 54 of those years. Like the Greens, Stuart led the family business, Rex Oil, which had been started by his father, Fred, in 1932. He also helped start Rex Plastics, which at one time employed over 300 employees. And also, like the Green, Stuart was an active leader in the Methodist Church. Stuart was very active in the JCs, Salvation Army, the Chamber, and served on several bank boards of directors. His passion was God. He helped found Colonial Country Club, and he was a big part of his Rotary involvement. He was an ambassador for Thomasville Rotary as he golfed with Rotary literally around the world, including winning the Rotary International Tournament 5 times. I imagine he brought a few Rotary flags back home to Thomasville himself. It is very fitting that our local annual golf tournament is named after Stuart. I gotta tell a quick Stuart story. Yeah, I played a golf tournament and playing Stuart, and playing Alexander, and we were playing at a regional golf tournament. And I know some of y'all won't believe this, you've seen me play before, but I beat my handicap by 6 strokes. 6 strokes better than the handicap. So when we finished, and it was over 100 golfers in this thing. I mean, this thing was pretty big. said, the only thing he said, you couldn't get to him as fast enough. He said, get in the car and leave, because if you turn in that store, we're gonna have to fight our way out. Cameron did. Stuart and his wife Helen had 3 children during that 62 years of marriage, one of whom was Harold. Harold, like his dad, was an engineering major at NC State. After graduation, he joined the family business and worked his way up through the ranks of Rex Plastics and Rex Oil, becoming president of Rex Oil in 1986. And like his dad, he has been highly involved in community service, including the Salvation Army, YMCA, Chamber. He was named Outstanding Citizen in 2009, and is a 20-year volunteer with Meals on Wheels. Harold is very involved in the many Rotary fundraising efforts that we have, and does it all with a smile. Probably his greatest achievement as a Rotarian for 33 years is his ability to keep the ruckus at the so-called fun table down to a manageable event. That's probably disputed. As a second-generation Rotarian, Harold has kept the ball rolling by sponsoring his and Valerie's son, Alex, to become one of our dearest members. Alex is also a Rex Oil guy. He has quickly jumped into Rotary as a Paul Harris Fellow and a sustaining member, continuing Kennedy tradition. Kennedy legacy, I might say. Legacy, by the way, is a great word to describe our third-generation Rotary family. David Williams, a.k.a. This is what's name. Man from Biscuit. Sound like a movie, that Man from Biscuit. Came to Thomasville to join Dr. Charles Gillum, started in Thompson Pediatrics in 1968. Never looked back. My youngest went through that. He and his wife Jane have exemplified service. The definition of a volunteer to give, bestow, or perform without being asked. All of us here today know that when something's important and worthwhile needs doing, David Williams shows up. And he leads. There are many definitions of leadership. The one I like a lot is simply influence. Not only does David do, but he inspires others to join him in doing. His mark is everywhere in the community, not only in Rotary, but through Memorial United Methodist Church as another Methodist. The Chamber, the Y, the schools, as chair of the Doak Finch Foundation for almost 20 years, and board members for 40. His influence has impacted Thomasville in a myriad of ways, seen and often unseen. David's vision, his initiative, his self-discipline, and his boundless energy have been a part of his commitment to Rotary that has helped make our club what it is today. And he always invites us to join him. That's the word, invites us to join him. That's pretty good, Stan. How many of you have been asked or invited by David to do something? Same crowd. How many of y'all have said no thanks?
Just once.
There you go. One person David invited to do something was his son, Rob. Rob was invited to join our club as a second-generation Rotarian, and he was a member for several years. He has also served the community through the hospital board, YMCA, Davidson County Board of Health, Bulldog Boosters, and has served on as a team physician of the high school for many years. along with his dad. He also a second-generation pediatrician, and not only has he treated thousands of area children, but he had a tremendously beneficial vaccination program during the pandemic, thus saving many lives in an effort that continues today. When Rob found himself so busy that he was unable to attend Rotary regularly, he stepped aside. Rather than be a rhino, that'd be a Rotarian in name only. Nobody wants many rhinos in the club. We don't get a whole lot done. It wasn't long ago before Rob's daughter, Peyton, succeeded him as a Rotarian third generation. She joined the club in 2020 and has rapidly become a difference maker in the community. Service includes her role as Director of Development for Cooperative Community Ministries and her election to the Colorful City Council. Peyton also is very active in the Memorial Methodist Church, PACE, and the Tourism Commission. As with Mark Green and Alex Kennedy, Peyton is just beginning her Rotary journey, and it will be fun to see what that future holds. 3 families, 3 generations, Rotarian, unlimited portions of service above self. Stephen Covey wrote, "There are certain things that are fundamental to human fulfillment. The essence of these needs can be summed up in the phrase, to live, to love, to learn, to leave a legacy." Today we honor and celebrate the lives and legacies that the Greens, the Kennedys, and the Williams have created and continue to create. As we said in the beginning, we are all the richer for it. Y'all stand up just a minute, let us congratulate 3 families, stand up.
Dangerous and difficult to follow Stan's words via Phil. Phil, thank you so much for doing that. Well done on extremely short notice. Thank you. I want to show you guys some pictures, and this is going to kind of be not very smooth, to be honest. I'm going to try to pull up some pictures here. This is very dangerous because it requires me pulling up my email and showing you all this. Please work. All right, here's my tech gurus who know how to get me to the screen I need. What do we gotta do here? Here's what I'm gonna do, guys. We're kind of out of time too, but I don't want to just not show you guys these pictures. So I'm gonna send an email with the pictures because Kim and somebody took time to get these pictures of these families. And I apologize that I'm not able to show it. But I'm gonna send an email. Kim, is that okay? We'll send an email so that you guys can kind of see these generations that we're celebrating today and kind of go down memory lane there. But I think what's most important, and first of all, I appreciate your families being here as we celebrate you today. There's a word there that Phil mentioned, that's obviously very appropriate, is legacy. And, you know, there'd be very few things that I would be prouder of than to see my son and possibly grandchild become Rotarians as well. And so this is, I don't know how to even explain the legacy of that amount of time and what you guys have done for this community. And I'd hate to think what this community might not be if we didn't have the Greens and Kennedys and Williams. So thank you so much for what you've done. You guys as family members that are here, I want to make sure you have the opportunity to say something if you'd like. I'm not putting you on the spot, but if there is anything that you'd like to say, please do. I guess I'm putting you on the spot. But don't feel like you have to, that's fine. Yeah, Kim?
Well, I just want to say that these families, we all know them, they have given so much of their money, and their personal money, and their business money, to all the different groups that are in this town and beyond. We see them on brochures, we see them on pamphlets, and it just keeps on coming. And it's amazing to me that they give, and it's just wonderful. It's who they are, and it's who they want to be, and it's so genuine that it's just amazing. And I just want to thank them all. There's many more of you in this room that are doing the same thing, but these families have really stepped it up, and it's just wonderful. So.
Absolutely. Just the selflessness of time and finances is crazy. You take 3 generations of that. We're a blessed club. A lot of clubs don't have that. Nowhere close to that. And so, and this community obviously is blessed from that. So, thank you guys. This was a good day. This was an important thing for us to recognize you guys. I don't remember whose idea this was. I know it's not really important to give that credit. But we came up to the board meeting. I know there was discussions a lot with Kim and Mary Jane.